Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kokugatsu and Professor Tuck back with another episode of Nerd Talk. And this time, we, of course, are going to hit onto that halftime show. Now, first
Woo!
off, we are putting a bit of a pause onto our glow up reaction videos right now. We are still working on different ways and getting that, working that out because we do read our comments and thank y'all so much for your views and your comments onto it. So we are actually actively working on that. But we definitely had to hit this iron while it is hot, talking about this halftime performance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are going to talk about, of course, onto our nerdy news special. If you do have not followed Zealous and Nerd Entertainment, The Zone, we are on everywhere you hear podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, all of that. Make sure you definitely check us out onto it. We have a nerdy news segment almost every single month where we update all the newest, different news and stuff. But right now, this is me and Professor Tuck's chance to go ahead and talk about this amazing halftime performance and
I'm
kind of
trying to think.
clarify some stuff that maybe you might have just missed out a little bit on. So, Professor Tuck, you are our music expert. We're gonna go ahead and start off with you, my man. How did this halftime performance make you feel, bro?
Well, it was a top performance. I wouldn't say it's the best performance because Prince was playing Purple Rain and it started raining. Like, yeah, you can't
God
beat that.
chosen,
I
God
know
chosen.
you can't beat it. He played 1,000 instruments, but Kendrick set the bar because a rapper never did this to this level of intricacies that he did. Man, Kendrick himself is a deep rapper, as a conscious rapper himself. So it always has layers and other stuff that's associated with it. And as nerds ourselves, we can definitely appreciate the play style that he had to stay set up in. You had similar to Xbox or PlayStation controller. Well, actually, the theme was actually PlayStation because he had a square, a triangle, a circle, and an X. And as he moved, he migrated to all four twice. So he moved to 8 different locations. So there is, I haven't looked too deep into it, but there is a saying that he used like some cheat codes from GTA and things of that nature. So it was a dope performance. The setup was nice. I like the teasing for Not Like Us too. And Serena popping out the woodwork, everybody had the same reaction, like, that's Serena. So it was definitely nice. The background dancers did their thing too. Samuel mother freaking Jackson. I'm trying to tell you. That's where it's at. What did you think of it?
Oh man, so Uncle Samuel
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, bro, best one. First off, we're gonna go ahead and mention this. I did actually do a quick blog onto this one. It is. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not finished because if I was to go ahead and type up every single thing that happened into the Super Bowl performance, this thing would be a book in itself with
Yeah.
how much there's so many in-depth layers into it. I just mainly went ahead and tried to check it out. So definitely check us out, zonealliance.com. Click on our blog tab, and it's the most recent one that I had just posted, where it is called the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. The revolution has been televised. First off,
Right.
talking off into that one. I enjoyed this. It had multiple different elements that we enjoyed. I love the tease to Not Like Us, but I appreciate the story that went along with it. Right now, the whole rap beef was a worldwide phenomenon, literally. However, and we're going to be very honest here, most white people avoided it straight up. They were just
Mhm.
like, as rap people, I don't really care about all that type of thing. But once they hit the Super Bowl, people really started listening in. Kendra's numbers skyrocketed after that. People really started listening in. He wound up breaking records, being the first rapper in 2025 to get 1 billion monthly listeners already, and it was like, dude, it's only February. How did that even happen? It's like, of
With
course.
3 albums trending in the top 3 in the 100 charts when he ain't dropped no album in 2025. It's crazy.
Exactly. What was it? So it was GNX, the one he dropped, the last one he dropped in 2024. Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn.
Classic,
Yeah,
classic.
both of those, absolutely. So it's like, um, now I will say one of the biggest things about it, even getting a chance to talk with my brother about it, because there's so much to listen to. And one of the things I appreciate, this is a white person actually said this, is that one of the best things about Kendrick's halftime performance, and really about Kendrick and a lot of his music before, in general anyway, is that the more you listen to it, the better it gets. And it's just one of those ones, like the first time you watch it, there was a lot of people was like, okay, it seemed pretty interesting. It seemed what's up. Oh, it's kind of the hype and stuff. But then once you go back and watch it again, and then watch it again, it's like every time you watch it, you're paying attention to a new element that happened. Starting off with the Uncle Sam, like, first off, understand Uncle Sam has always been an old white person. So we finally get an old black person Samuel
Fact.
Jackson at that too. Not just any old Samuel Jackson. Motherfucker man. I just say motherfucker about everything. Type
Yes.
thing. Literally, this dude is so intense in how it is that he does stuff. People love him, but then some people really dislike him because of that, because he speaks his mind. He wears his shoulder, his emotions on his shoulder, type of thing. It's just one of those ones that that's why you appreciate him because you're gonna know how he feels, you know how he thinks. But he's such a phenomenal actor as well too. He played that role fantastically. You know, the funniest thing about it is that Kendrick wrote out these lines for him to write to say, and he's like, "No, this is too loud. It's too much. It's too ghetto. It's too much into that." And the funniest thing about it is that this was supposed to be what the American viewers were thinking watching this halftime show. A week late, not even a week later, we're seeing videos, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, a whole bunch of people, and that's exactly what they said. Exactly what they said. Like just straight up, full on predicted that. And I was like, "You did it again, K. Dot. Like, what in the world?" But
Yes. I agree.
it's so
Yo,
much.
it
It's
has so many layers. When
mhm.
you got Nick Fury coming on TV to tell the story of your music, is
Mhm.
crazy. It's dope. It's innovative. It's never heard of. He should have used Nick Fury and Dave Chappelle, but I digress. He'd have used
That would have been
Dave
funny.
Chappelle. Now Dave Chappelle would have messed it up. He'd have smoked a cigarette.
Probably, probably. So look, I want to break it down different things into it. First off, understand the black community being too loud, too ghetto. Again, fully predicted it. The other thing I want to talk about, like you mentioned about the T's and not like us, where literally Kendrick winds up doing these different things. He starts off with his rapping, and it's like a lot of people's like, I don't know like this. I don't know how to feel about this. People know about Kendrick Lamar, but people know about Kendrick Lamar from We Gonna Be All Right. They know about Kendrick Lamar from Humble. And even though we got a chance to get Humble in the halftime performance, we didn't get All Right. And there's something that a lot of people wound up mentioning. They were just like, usually when people go into a Super Bowl performance, they're gonna hit their top songs that people well know. But Kendrick went on stage and he had a story to tell, and that's what he wanted to do. So he didn't put all right because realistically, America is not all right now. We're not at that state. There's so much happening into it. Prices of everything has gone up. Food prices, we got the chicken flu. Eggs have skyrocketed. I went and used to get like a 60 pound of eggs. It would cost like $10, $12, and it costs $30 now just to get eggs. And it's like, what in the world is happening? You get trying to get just a regular 12 count. It's you're sitting at over $10 just to get a 12 count of eggs, and you're just like, what is happening in the world right now? The tariffs that's been constant back and forth, Canada, Mexico, everyone getting mad at Trump, and it's just like so
Yep.
much happening into it. Even with our income taxes right now too, some people getting their taxes, but a lot of people is seeing an extended delay on their getting their taxes, especially with the whole Elon Musk having access to be able to review everything, and people like you really put Elon in charge of that. And America is not all right today. It's not realistically. It's we're in a state of chaos, disarray, all types of nonsense right now, and it's just one of those ones that you're just like, okay, this is crazy, and that's where GNX comes in because GNX is his life story into this, like how he's dealing with it, but it's also our story of going through with this and teasing not like us, where it's like people want to hear what's popular. They don't want to hear you talk about a message, which is one of the biggest things that happened with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That surprisingly, and this is funny, I love Damn Good Kid, Mad City. I love all his albums, but Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is actually my favorite Kendrick album. Like I actually still like that more than GNX. I love GNX, but I actually really like Mr. Morale better than GNX, specifically because that's one, I guess for me, I relate to it a lot more. A
Right.
lot of those hard stories that people's like I couldn't really listen to that, I fully relate into that. The whole fight between Kendrick and I forgot who the lady was that wound up featuring into it.
Yeah.
The whole
She
fight
killed it.
between
They killed it.
most definitely, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, yeah, growing up, I heard that. Aside from just not, I mean, realistically with my family, but I mean, even for like my friends' family, like a lot of my friends I grew up with, grew up unfortunately in a dysfunctional black home. That's just what happened, and it's like
That's a
that's
fact.
yeah. So it was like we heard these conversations. I was literally playing with a friend of mine who was in what was it playing like Mortal Kombat on his PlayStation, and we sitting here playing Mortal Kombat, and his parents, his mom and dad, like screaming and yelling at each other, arguing in the next room, and I'm just sitting here trying to keep him occupied. I'm just like, dude, just come on, just come on, let's keep playing, let's just keep playing. And it was like, there's not much we could do about that. Um, The
Shout
next
out to
day,
Mortal Kombat. Been
that
saving
part, bro.
lives since
That
forever.
part, bro, for real. Saving lives, ripping people's heads out of spine. But and it's like it's a hard thing to really deal with, but it's one of those ones that we deal with it in America every single day. Like people deal with it all the time into it. So when you wind up getting a song like "Not Like Us," and you just getting saying, no, you haven't dealt with the struggle that we dealt with, and "Not Like Us" hit so many different layers aside from just obviously shouting out on Drake, but it was also in America. It's one of those ones. I'm like, not everybody is not like everybody, but then that can also be a peace thing too. You don't have to be like us to understand. Just get a chance to break down into it. That's the reason why I like seeing these reaction videos. We get a chance to really see how people truly feel. There are people that's like, oh, I absolutely hate this. This was too ghetto. The music wasn't about you. The music wasn't for you. The music was about you. That's realistically what it was. The message was not for you. It was for us about you. If you feel that way, but if
Because
you
they
have that
not like
moment,
us.
exactly. But if we wind up taking a step back and you wind up saying, okay, I can understand this is really your black struggle. This is what you dealt with. 40 acres and a mule, the promise that was supposed to come to our black ancestors when they were released from being slaves, and we never got it. The 40 acres and the mules went to the plantation owners. That was the fact that they lost property so that way they can continue on instead of helping us out. It's a real thing that happened, man. And so getting that tease, and it was like, no, 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 this is not what you want. It's not what you want. And then he's like, I like to play, but I like to sue. And he was decided to move on to something different. And it's like, yeah, 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 this is what we want. This is what
Hmm.
America wants. Something nice and slow. And we got scissor. Oh, so real quick, I don't want to move too much further. Tuck, what you got, man?
Well, I want to talk about the infamous smile. The infamous smile, bro. It's iconic. He just hit him with a say Drake. I hear you like I'm young.
He like him, yeah.
Bro, that infamous smile, bro. It was so iconic. Bro, literally while I was watching it live, I seen it on Twitter. Everybody then got a still frame of that smile. He was waiting on it. He was literally waiting on it, bro. So what did you think of that part?
The smile was amazing. I don't know how to say. I don't really know what else to say into it. It was scary, but it was also amazing. That was one of those ones that were like, oh, that's a boogeyman smile right there, bro. Um, the one thing I like about the smile is the fact that some people they recognize the smile. People that's in Kendrick's circle that actually talks to him and stuff and know him. There's one dude that went onto a podcast with it, and one thing he said was is like during back at the beginning of the rap beef, like when Drake had released Push Ups. And it was like, I'm not sure if Kendrick was going to respond. If he was like, oh, Kendrick had responded, DJ Academic, as he's called now, especially after that nonsense. But that's a whole discussion for another time. Anyway, look, how do you self
Acadiddy,
snitch? How do you self snitch
Acadiddy.
though? Yeah, bro. Shout out to Screwface. Definitely for making that song. Acadiddy, if you haven't checked that out, it is hilarious. It's good, but it's also hilarious, bro. Um, but no, for real, though, it's like it was one of those ones like when they had talked about it when it first started, and then Kendrick was getting teased so much. Dude literally said that what happened was he was chilling out and he had got a video call. It was like I think he said it was like 3 or 5 something. It was like really early in the morning, and he had got one. He had got a video call, and he was just like, "That's weird. Who's this? Why is this dude calling me?" And it wasn't Kendrick. It was one of Kendrick's friends that he was calling from. Um, I feel bad because I can't remember the name, but he was on Collard Greens. Tuck, I think you might know.
Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q. That's what it was. So yeah, it was
When he
Schoolboy
said
Q.
collard greens, I was trying to remember. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, Schoolboy Q wanted a video call. Like Kendrick got Schoolboy Q's phone and video called this dude and was just like, and dude was like, it's early in the morning. I ain't finna answer this. And then he got another video call and he was just like, bruh, like, okay, obviously if he's really trying to call me, it's something serious. He says he answers the video call and it's just Kendrick making this face right here. And then hangs up the phone. And he
bruh,
said, he was like, just
the
think about this.
boogeyman,
He
bro.
said it was a boogeyman smile. He said, so you saw that exact same face in the Super Bowl. He said, say Drake, I hear you like him young. And it was like, yeah, bro, that was too much. So I was like, nah.
He is a deviant. He is a miscreant. He is the hip hop boogeyman. I'm trying to tell you, don't nobody come for him. He worse than Eminem, bro. Well, He up there. He up there. I don't know about worse than him.
I can't say worse than Eminem, but I can
No, no,
definitely
no,
say
no,
he's
no,
scary
no.
as hell.
He up there. He up there. 'Cause what Eminem did was disrespectful
Dude,
to
did you put?
Benzino. Woo,
Did you hear the Pusha T is making a whole nother round back again with Drake again? But anyway,
Lord.
it's a whole nother discussion for another time. But for real though,
Drake
but
taking shots like it. 50 Cent.
dude, did you see Drake round up? Actually, he's now been doing his performances where he shows up in like a hoodie that's got a bunch of holes in it, like gunshot holes in it,
Yeah,
and
he
he's like
extra.
he has a little smoke machine into it, and he's just like walking around with smoke coming out. It's supposed to be like, I took them shots, but ain't nothing phased me. And it's like, oh, so you admitting the fact that these shots hit? That's really what she admitted.
They still hitting.
That part. But one of the things I absolutely appreciate, Serena and SZA. My two favorite things about this performance is first thing is this: a lot of people have been comparing Kendrick's performance to Beyonce's. First off, understand Kendrick now has holds the record for the most viewed halftime show. He has beat Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
Usher beat Michael Jackson last year, and Kendrick topped Usher like significantly further, um, with 133.5 million live views.
Mhm.
Nobody's come to that. Literally, he is now number one, and I don't even know if anyone could beat that. Like real talk. Um, so the thing about it is that, and plus on top of remember, this is also not Kendrick's first time being in a Super Bowl halftime show. This is his first time him being the solo into it, but and hosting into it. But it's not his first time there. He was there before with Snoop and 50 and a bunch of other people like a couple years back as well too.
Mhm.
So, but one thing is that they're truly trying to compare it to Beyonce's performance, and there's two big things into that of why you really cannot compare that. And one of those things pertains specifically into SZA. Beyonce, when she got into her performance, Beyonce is her thing is owning her female sexiness as it being just her type of thing. And it's like you can't judge me for it. I'm gonna be me type of thing. If I want to come out being sexy and everything like that, that's just what I'm gonna be. And mad respect to that. But people really tried clowning her onto that. And people try to forget that real quick. You know, you try to clown somebody and then you be like, oh, try to. Well, so we moved on from that. That was a long time ago. No, 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 no. We don't forget that. We don't
Mhm.
forget the fact that y'all really tried to clown her on the fact that she went on to a national, the America's biggest stage, and pretty much what essentially like a swimsuit type thing. And it was like she had all these legs and she had stilettos, and it was they literally called her ratchet and stuff. And I'm just like, nah, bro, like I'm not gonna forget the fact that y'all said that type of
Facts.
thing.
You know
So
I'm in the beehive too.
I didn't know that anyway.
Yep. Hmm.
But for real though, like they really tried to clown her on that. And so SZA comes on stage, and then they're like, "Oh, it was such a boring performance." And it's like people's like, "Oh, SZA finally showed up," but SZA just kind of looked all boring type of thing. And I'm sitting here like, that was the point. He made a whole record thing. SZA, yeah, her brand is also owning her own female um sexiness as well too. Like getting the point of this is who I am, and I'm going to own that about me. You see that on her album covers, you see that on her music videos. But when you saw
Hmm.
her on that stage today, not today, we saw her on the stage on that Sunday, she was not wearing anything like that. She was wearing, you could probably say, the most boring outfits. Everybody had the most boring outfits. Yes, it was boring because you were supposed to pay attention to the message, not be distracted by the sexiness into it.
That's a
Kendrick has
fact.
talked about that plenty of times before, especially let's say we'll see some girls, some ass with some stretch marks type things. Like I want to see the real. I don't want to see cover and fake up type thing. You don't need to like over enhance it for my show. I can get you in with just you being you on your talent alone. That's what it's supposed to be. And they literally tried to clown into it. And I'm like, see, Beyonce's performance was all extravagant and stuff. She had all this real stuff. She had pyrokinetics and things like that. And it's like, okay, you clowned her for that. He makes something that's not that, and then you're trying to clown him for it. Y'all can't make up your mind.
That's a fact.
America's divided because y'all don't know what the hell you want. Like real talk.
I
I enjoy
agree.
both.
I completely agree. When you talk about cultural impact, when you talk about just replayability, the influence, like he said, bro, he reunited the West Coast. Every gang was together when he shot the Not Like Us video. The whole
Coast.
city
Yes.
came out. There was no violence that day. Not a drop of violence that day, bro.
Going back to Ice Cube, literally today was a good day. That whole song specifically about the fact that nobody died today, nobody got robbed today, nobody did this today. Literally just having that whole point of like, today was a good day that we was able to have peace, and Kendrick did that shit, bro. Yes,
And he did it like 4, 5 times. He done popped up the Amazon music festival for Amazon, bro. He did it again. He brought the whole city with him.
exactly.
Did it for the Super Bowl. Man, Kendrick is literally a Super Saiyan out here, bro. He probably Super Saiyan 3, but I don't know.
Honestly, shoot. I mean, considering the fact without spoiling too much, I mean, considering the fact that Super Saiyan 4 is supposedly canon right now, Diamond. Let's go ahead and go with that one. But anyway, definitely check it out. We're gonna be doing a podcast review on to that at the end of the month, actually. So the last episode comes out on the 28th. And best believe we're gonna be doing that one. No, but for real though, the second point into was the pyrokinetics as well too. So we actually did have someone who was on the pyrokinetics team that did say that they actually had to cut it because Donald Trump was going to be there, even though he wound up arriving late and stuff. Because he was going to be there, they didn't want to take any type of chances of him getting hurt whatsoever. So they completely cut the pyrokinetics. So just understand that there was supposed to be pyrokinetics in the show. He actually did have that. It just we didn't get a chance to see it. So, which I understand. I understand you can't, whether you like him or not, you can't attempt to harm. You can't take a chance of harming the active president of the United States. That's not going to work. Yeah. So understand onto that one. Although keep in mind, when Obama was president, they didn't really care about that. They put the pyrokinetics out there. But that's a story for another time. but for reals though, and then
Kendrick got a concert on the 25th in Atlanta at 7 p.m.
Sound like you're about to be there.
He gonna be live recording it. I know he got something planned.
Every single time, bro. I wonder if he's gonna hit the A minor again, dude. Okay, so first up, we really want to talk about.
I'm glad you said that.
So first off, literally one of the biggest streamers out there, Kai Cenat, wound up trying to claim the fact that it was a crowd recording that was put onto it. Bruh, everybody's clowning him for that one. Everybody clowned him for that one. Oh, there was people on their phones just live recording the performance while they were there. They're like, ain't no crowd performance. They was singing it right along. They was saying A minor right along with everybody else. Tyga was there, and Tyga literally had recorded himself. He didn't actually say A minor, of course not, for clear, obvious reasons, but still, on his face, he was kind of shocked and just looking around. He's like, no, there was proof. The entire crowd, that was the entire stadium saying A minor, straight up. Just even if most people probably just joined in just because, like, I don't know why we saying it, but minor, and just kind of went along with it like you were supposed to. Either way, you joined in.
If they ain't know not one Kendrick song, they knew that one part.
Yes, yeah, like straight up. Those people who've never heard of Kendrick, but they heard it not like us.
He did. He knew that was gonna happen. He did a live shot of the crowd at that time too. Overview.
Shout out to the camera people, bro. For real.
What, bro?
Dude, I saw some video recordings of the camera crew and stuff, and they did such a fantastic job into it. Like, straight up. Look, the one thing about it is this: people was complaining. I'm like, there was not one black person. There was only black people on the stage. There was not one white person on that stage. There's a whole nother thing in itself. I'm like, first off, it was a black message. Deal with it, bro. That's just what it is. Like, hey, it's for the minorities. So
yeah, 40 acres and a mule is bigger than what?
Exactly. But you want to shout out for anything? Okay, look, the camera crew was white. It was mixed. We had white and black. There we go. Look, the dude that right there, when Kendrick got up on the stage, and when Kendrick got up and be on that, bro, that was a white dude on the camera that was holding it.
Free throat, man. Down called the ambulance.
Bruh, that was a white dude holding the camera that was like holding it back and everything. He had a dude that was on spotting him, making sure he was straight. Look, there you go. You had somebody there. Just saying. But no, as far as like, it couldn't be on the dance team. I mean, the real talk, that's just it was who it was for. Plus on top of that, and then I appreciate there's also another white person that went on TikTok and talked about this as well too. Trump wound up, one of the things that he was right because he keeps writing all these executive orders, sign them left and right, and a lot of people don't know what's being signed out. One of the ones that got signed out was inclusion. Mm-hmm. You don't have to You don't have to conform now to try to have all black, or have to have black and white, have mix and stuff like that. So if you want to have an all white or have an all black, you can finally do that. And that was just one of the things into it. So if you want to get mad at anyone, unfortunately, let's just be real. Trump signed an executive order. Congress passed it. The House of Representatives said it was fine. That blame our government who did that. So if you're upset that there's not a white person on that field, technically that's not Kendrick's fault. That's our government. Again, proving the message. Just saying.
Message.
Right there. Ah, and obviously Serena Williams again being my other favorite thing too, because Serena getting crip walking on to first off, Drake has Serena's been tired. She's been tired of it. She's been silent. She's been keeping to herself. She's been minding her own business. She's been just enjoying her life, enjoying her husband, enjoying her family. And every like so many years, no, every literally every damn year, Drake winds up dropping some type of song where he's trying to call out Serena about something,
Yep.
literally by name, all this type of stuff. And
Yep.
y'all getting mad all this time, like, how dare she? Because she just went on stage crip walking onto him. That's just not even fair.
She
And
should
it's
be
like,
home with her husband.
and I'm sitting here like, this dude has been clowning her and her family constantly.
Oh God.
Bruh, like, yeah, she getting opportunities. Like, I'm just gonna show you that I'm out here dancing and good music, and I ain't worried about you because your music ain't good to me. I don't care.
Back.
Like,
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
fuck yeah, bruh, it's real. So it's like it's just what it is, you know. So we wound up having these like super awesome fun stuff into it, and Serena getting a chance to finally do that. And again, I'm going to keep saying it because I watch a lot of reaction videos, but I'm purposely mentioning that a lot of these are from white people that have been saying this, and it's important to me that I say that because we as a black community will be able to support ourselves all the time, but finally understanding that, getting a chance of watching the Super Bowl halftime performance, they really are finally starting to get some people who is really starting to understand what it is that the black community is dealing with. And coming from a white professor talking about the fact that he
Professor
does
Tuck.
not exactly, but this guy literally specifically talking about the fact that it's not fair that people are clowning Serena for dancing. I'm gonna be very clear with you onto this one. Serena doing a crip walk. Crip walk was not made to wind up hurting people. To be like, oh, we're finna kill someone, so we do a crip walk dance because we finna kill someone. Or we finna do a B walk. First off, understand it's more than just a crip walk. We have a blood walk too, bro. There's every sect has their own walk, and all the walk is pretty much the same. It's just you just call it different depending on what sect that you wreck with. She grew up in Compton, and it was just like, oh, well, Crip wound up killing her sister. So that's kind of unfair. That's really disrespectful to her sister. Into that, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Her sister wound up dying. Yes, it was absolutely unfortunate. The walk is not to blame for that. That's a whole different situation in itself. And the media trying to forcibly put that together onto that just to shame this woman. Shame on y'all for that. For reals. Why would you put two completely different situations and try to put it together to try to publicly shame this woman? That's not even fair. That's not fair
You
to her.
just
That's
said
not
it
fair to
best. You can read the game, but you can't fake influence.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, dude. And then, like, what, 12, 13 years ago, I don't remember exactly how long, but when she won the gold medal in the Olympics, is the fact that she wound up crip walking because it was a natural instinct for her to just start dancing into it. She
Yeah, she's
grew
just
up with
vibing.
that dance. Exactly. She grew up with that dance. That's what her friends do. That's what she did. That's how they all just dance and get along together.
Yep.
It was a natural instinct. It wasn't an instinct of, oh, I killed them. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I'm gang banging. Mm-mm-mm. That's not what fuck happened, bro.
Yeah.
Like, sit down.
They tore her apart more than Obama with the tan suit. It was
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. So it's just like, for real, y'all really tripping right now. And then you should try to be like, oh, how dare she crip walk? She was free. And I was happy to hear this dude say this. He was like, literally, America clowned her for it 12 years ago. But she had it finally. Kendrick called her and was like, you have a stage to be able to do this. And
Yep.
I'm gonna give you my stage for you to do and be free and do it. And that part, be free into it. Absolutely. Also, one thing about this
With a
too is the fact.
spotlight.
Right. And that's one of the things about it too, is that she did want to speaking out about it, that Kendrick actually called her specifically to be out there. Now, granted, you can probably put that as that's a hell of a petty move. And it is, but it's Kendrick, so we expect that.
He the boogeyman.
Kung Fu Kenny. That's
He
just what it
probably
was.
called Riri too, but she was dealing with some court issues. Couldn't make it.
That's probably, who knows. But either way, yes, straight up, Serena wanted coming out there. She said, sure, I'll come out there and do it. And it's like, there you go, right there. Just go ahead. Tell the nigga shut up.
Hey, if I was him, if I was Kendrick, I ain't gonna lie, I would have called the baby mama too. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, let me hold the baby on camera. I'll give you
Petty.
$5 million.
You is petty. Nah, nah.
Bruh, I would have Drake's son out there dancing to it, bro. I'll give him 5 million too.
Look, one of the things we're gonna have to do here is that at some point you and I are gonna have to actually officially do our own reaction videos to the beef itself. Like real talk. So first off, understand I've already made video onto a TikTok a long time ago about it. I don't listen to Aubrey like that. And
I appreciate the nomenclature.
it's just true. I really don't. I've tried. It's one of the things I say I have tried. I just can't. Like one of his most famous songs, God Plan. I cannot listen to God's Plan. And it was not until literally yesterday, and I'm saying this as far as our time of recording, but yesterday is the reason I found out why it is I cannot actually listen to God's plan. So one of the things about it is that I come from a very strong religious background. Okay, I am Christian. My mom, she's an elder. She was a pastor. My spiritual grandmother is a reverend. My grandfather is a reverend before he had passed. And so it's like I come from a very long line of like religion when it comes down for it. So you mentioned anything about God, my spirit automatically feels into this. God's plan felt wrong to me, and I never understood why. Something just seemed different, and I was like, I can't understand why it is I can't listen to this song, and I don't understand what it is. I've never finished it ever. I just can't. And then there's a whole theory in the song that pertains, of course, to the Super Bowl because Kendrick performed Peekaboo, which also that moment Peekaboo. She was funny as hell, but literally when he wanted to perform Peekaboo, there's a whole theory about Peekaboo because it goes back to Big Stepper and Mr. Morales. Mr. Morales and Big Steppers was when Kodak Black, and I just personally, I'm not a big fan of his music, but I don't have an issue with Kodak. Is the fact that he wound up talking about the fact that he got a chance to meet with the killer of XXXTentacion. And so, because of the fact that he wound up meeting them, there's a whole lot of things into it that pretty much all kind of derives into it. The fact that literally Drake pulled what we say a Diddy move. What Diddy did to Tupac is what people saying that Drake did to XXXTentacion. And it was so pretty much the same thing, like almost the exact same situation. And so Peekaboo, when you wind up listening to the lyrics into it, and it's one of the reasons why he performed it in the Super Bowl and he's standing in front of the big X, is also a big call out to the fact of, like he had mentioned to a previous song, the rabbit hole goes deep and I can go deeper, I promise. Is because it's like I know a lot of stuff, bro. I know a lot of stuff, bro. Keep messing with me and see if I don't go push it further, you know? Like how you feel about that?
That's similar to the way that Eminem dropped the warning to Mariah Carey and told her I can go further as well. Like, this is a warning shot before I blow up your whole spot. Call my bluff and I release everything I got. But I'm trying to. What if they team up against Drake? Oh my! Oh,
look, I mean that whole thing where people was really pushing the fact that it was like, oh, it was gonna be Drake and J. Cole versus Kendrick, and then J. Cole was like, no. See, their beef is different than what I had. Me, it was supposed to be we just trading bar for bar, blow for blow, just to have fun type of thing. They got something different. I'm backing out of that one. Like, bro, J. Cole was smart.
Yeah.
No. Look, I don't want to take up too much more time into it, but I know, like I said, it's a whole lot. If we was to sit here and talk about this whole video, would be like an hour long. I said if I did this blog with everything into it, this whole thing itself would be at like a whole book in itself. There's so much into it. The American game and Humble, one of the biggest things into it for me is the fact that we wound up having the every day in life we play an American game. You wake up in the morning, you're playing the American game. You know, we're all dealt different cards. Whether the game could be multiple different things. Kendrick wound up putting it out as like the board, and the board was relation to PlayStation. It was related to Squid Game, if you want to put it that way, the rich versus the poor. Sometimes you hear this like life deals you out a hand of cards. You just got to play with the cards that you got, type of thing. All of it pertains to the game because regardless into it is that we're given stuff in life, and one of the best things that people have really shown was when they did the race test. And by the race test, and it's hilarious because it's a double entendre in the name. It was a race test because it was a test to prove that different community and cultures are different in life and how they started off and what it is that they're dealing with. And it was also a race because they were supposed to race from point A to point B. It was supposed to be a finish line. So the race test, it was purposely on both. And what they did is everyone started off in this line and said, hold on, first off, we're going to ask a couple questions. And it was like, so if you still have both parents in your life, take 5 steps forward. Some people walk forward, some people got stuck at this line. And then start off asking those different questions that pertain to the minority group, because most white people have both families. Most white people were able to get a car when they turned 16, get their driver's license, and was gifted a car. They were able to have some money saved away for a college fund. And there's a lot of Black, Hispanic, even a lot of Asian, not as much in Asian, but still there's a lot of in different Asian cultures that deal with the same thing. Where it's like winds up being at the very end, some of the people who were still stuck at the very beginning of the finish line was mostly Black people, and that's where we was at. And it was just like, and you had some people that was about halfway through, and it's like, so if we did this race right now and everyone ran up, do you think those people in the back would still have a chance to make it to the finish line before you guys? No. Real talk. Because the finish line is the end of life. And sometimes some people don't even make it that way because they didn't have that start off. Sometimes they run about halfway through and then collapse down. That's the same as talk about our community get shot.
That's a fact.
You playing the game of life. The game of life ain't always fair. That's real talk what it is. Monopoly is literally was a game specifically designed to teach kids why it is that having one person in charge of all these corporations was a bad thing and why competition is supposed to be good. We've lost that message now. It's just a fun game for like mostly played in America. It's just a fun game to play, but we lost the message.
It's serious business.
Exactly.
It's serious business around here when I play Monopoly.
But you see the thing about it is into that. Like you play serious. Your job is to bankrupt somebody else. You're supposed to be the one holding all the money, all the cards at the end of the game. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is real talk. What it is. It's like the game was developed to teach why something was bad, and now we have fun with it. But again, we lost the message. So it's like it's important to understand. And then the humble with the American flag. Kendrick had people dressed in blue, white, and red, split perfectly down the middle. Mm-hmm. And him standing in the middle in the Great Divide. And it was like there's a whole message into that one too. And it's just like there's so much that happened into it.
It's layers. I'm trying to tell you. It's layers.
Exactly. Now, I want to end this off with the cheat code that we do. We started off with what you started off with at the beginning, the cheat code.
But before you go into the cheat code, let me just tell you, Luther was crazy too. Luther is such a good song.
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
And then there's 3 things for all the stars. One, of course, him and SZA have that song together. But paying homage to Chadwick Boseman, particularly for Black Panther, which is ironic that Samuel L. Jackson was also there because Nick Fury, right? And then all the stars for all the stars on the flag. Like it's crazy.
That's insane. I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right. Mm-hmm. Well, look, so we'll go ahead and end this off in the cheat code because again, there's so much into it. We already talked about Not Like Us. We love TV Off. He ended with TV Off on purpose. TV Off was supposed to be like some people took it as a different thing. Like it was a shot at Drake. Like, I turn his TV off. That's right. You can't even watch this no more because I've ashamed you so bad. But there was also a message supposed to be a message to us as a community. Turn the TV off and go start that revolution that we just televised.
Mm-hmm.
Revolution has now been televised. And if you were part of the Black community, I'm assuming that y'all have seen these Black movies. And so the revolution will not be televised, and then the whole talk show, the radio host, and that one picture, if you see them lips, you know exactly what movie it is that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you know, you know. But for reals though, so the biggest thing is going to be that cheat code and triangle X square, triangle circle X square, circle square, triangle X circle. Mm-hmm. Yes, people went, they recorded it, they went and double checked it exactly what it was supposed to be. And so so there's surprisingly 2 things into it. There might actually be 3. But so far surprisingly like 2 things into it. First off, an understanding was, like you mentioned, the GTA. So there's 2 different versions for the GTA because that code is used in almost every single GTA game. True. And it means 2 different things. For Los Santos, if you want to talk about some of the older GTA games, it wound up being the armor and ammunition load up. For the newer ones, it winds up giving you super punch. like to be able to almost like a super destruction type thing, like time to really blow things up type thing. Armor up and then blow it up. So yeah, it was very famous in Grand Theft Auto. People who really have played, and it fits the theme because I know like literally, Sebi Phantom, who was doing podcasts with us as well too. She wound up talking about the fact that, to her, the theme of the message, the theme of the entire Super Bowl halftime show was playing games in these streets. So it was like, what game is more iconic about playing games in streets than GTA? Just real talk. The game that literally is you should we shout out Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat wound up,
Mhm.
sending America into an uproar, American parents into an uproar. But GTA, especially the fourth one, GTA 5 just only further increased it. But GTA wound up being the game that people absolutely was like, oh, this is a staple for America. This is really detailing how America is. And a lot of governmental officials was very, very upset about this game. And like, so you tell me it's a game where you're just playing, you're probably going around shooting up people, stealing cars, doing all this type of nonsense, and it's like, bro, too much.
Yeah.
But so those idealistic for this code to wind up popping in there. The other thing about this code is some people want to speculating is Jurassic Park, and this is where it gets a little funny. So Jurassic Park, this particular code is used in a Jurassic Park video game, when in the original video game. This is known as the 59 lives code. What it is that if you put in the code, and this is where a lot of people like you really can kind of see this because this actually happened. When the Super Bowl halftime started, it started off, we heard some music playing in the background. We saw the code being put in, and then the music stopped. And then really quick, we saw the code being put in again, and then the music started back up again. Is actually what happens in the Jurassic Park video game. When you go to the start menu and you input the code, it'll cut off the music. And once it cuts off the music, you have to go into the settings, restart the music, put in the code again, and then it gives you an additional 59 lives, which wound up really being a hilarious really tie in because this is the 59th Super Bowl. 59 plus lives, 59th Super Bowl, the music cut off, cut back on again after putting in the code twice. And I was like, that might not be that far fetched. People might really be talking about something.
Well, Kendrick, you got to study everything he do.
Exactly.
And what's crazy is GTA 6 Rockstar did formally recognize
Yes.
GNX Radio.
GNX Radio, bro, that was like the best shot. I forgot. I still gotta post that up there too.
Playing
no,
all
for real, though.
Kendrick all the time on GTA is disrespectful.
Mhm. And
And I love it.
if you do check out my blog, I did mention as well about the 59 part code as well too, because it gives you 59 extra lives, which will put you at 60 because you start off with 1. So you 1 plus 59 is 60. But remember, Uncle Sam said deduct 1 life.
Mm.
So we went right back to 59 again. So many parallel connection stuff. It's insane. It is insane. And he spent months into this. Understand, he spent months writing this. As soon as he was given the option to be in a halftime show, he was like, absolutely. And I mean, come on. First off, it's also no big surprise. The beginning of Black History Month, Super Bowl. You know he was going to do something.
It's black, y'all. It's black, y'all. It's blacker than black, and it's black, y'all.
That part. So look, again, there's so many different layers. I did not break all of it down into our blog. It's one of those ones, if you really want to detail into it, it is a rabbit hole to really look into it, but it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. There are so many people who have broke down in so many different levels. Ours is just one iteration of it. Definitely check out many others as well and be able to kind of see exactly what it is that's going on. So other than that, that's all that we have here for our nerd talk. We have taken up so much of your time, but I do appreciate you guys so much watching all the way through until the end. Tuck, do you have any professor closing words that you want to go ahead and let our people know?
Music embedded in my soul. It's a part of me. It will never leave, nor will it cheat. Your heart holds the rhythm. Fall in love with the beat.
You need to release out that song, bro.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Stay nerdy, y'all. We'll talk to y'all another time. Bye, y'all.